back to my channel, Beauty at 50. I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Suzanne. I talk about everything hair, skin and nails, everything beauty. I upload Wednesday and Saturday and would love to have you subscribe and join me at least twice a week or once a week for a couple of my new videos that I post. So today's video is going to be about foundations. Number one question that I always had when I was at Clinique was foundation. What should I wear? What does full coverage mean? What type of foundation should I wear? I wear full coverage, and what type of foundation is good for my skin? You need to take control over your skin and understand your own skin, whether it's dry, whether it's oily, whether it's combination, and also make sure that you understand what full coverage means. A lot of times when people come in and I ask them two questions. The main questions that I ask them as a beauty consultant is, the first question is, are you oily or are you dry? So oily or dry, what does that mean? So dry means, a dry skin would mean tight after you have washed your face. It doesn't mean that it's flaky. Flaky could also mean lack of exfoliation. The second thing would be oily. How do I know if I have an oily skin? An oily skin would be someone who has a shine to their skin and has to take paper during the day and blot it because it is so oily. Those are the two questions that should be first asked when you go to a beauty consultant to match you to a foundation. The second thing would be, what kind of coverage do you want? Do you want full coverage? Full coverage meaning that you don't see your true skin underneath. Everything is blurred out by your foundation. Second, it would be, you want a tinted moisturizer. Now, a lot of people think as you age and as your skin matures that you need more full coverage. In fact, you actually need less coverage. And why I say this is that when you are aging, your skin tends to be drier. And so you tend to want to cover it more because you think you have more flaws to it to when you were younger. However, you want to be sure that you are putting a good amount of foundation on to cover what you need to, but not a huge amount of coverage, because sometimes full coverage can make you also look older. So what that means is, when you are looking at a foundation, you want to kind of still see your skin coming through. You don't want to see it totally blacked out or blocked off, because then what tends to happen is those lines and the foundation seems to stick in those areas. Where are you going to try your foundation? The best place to do and try your foundation is along your neck area, so along here. So that's the first thing. The other part, if you have foundation on, would be on the inside of your arm right here. So the inside of your arm is going to be pretty close to your neck and this area right along by your face, right here. So if you don't have a chance or you don't want to be without foundation when you go and have your makeup matched, put it over here, unless you self-tan. I usually self-tan, so the color of my skin is usually darker here too. If you have a lot of redness on your chest, you're going to have to bring your foundation down and kind of blend it down too. So what you are using to put your foundation on is also very important to note. When you are using your foundation, what I would suggest is first using your fingers, kind of pressing it in, and I would focus on this area, not right under your eye, but to the bone of your eye, pressing it in with your fingers, and then taking a brush and blending it out to the sides. So putting it in this area and then blending out and down. You can also use a sponge, a wet sponge, which you're going to dampen, and you're actually going to press into your skin. So that is also very good to get that smoothed out. The brush that I like has these long bristles, as you can see, and then what that does is it buffs in the foundation into the skin, and that's the result that I usually use. So start off with fingers, sponge, and then blend it with brush. You also want to get into these areas here, which also helps you get into those areas with a brush. So I'm going to give you a list of the top 10 best foundations, which people usually look to trying, or they say they come in to a beauty consultant, or when you go to the mall to any of the counters and they say, this is the foundation I've heard, I've done my research, and I want to try. So these would be the top 10. Bare Minerals, which would be your powder. It would be your powder that you use your brush and you would buff it into your skin, so it's kind of like a loose powder. The two of Clinique would be Beyond Perfecting and Stay Matte. One is a full coverage and one is an oil absorbing coverage. The next one would be Naked Skin from Urban Decay and All Nighter. Now All Nighter has more like a concealer texture, I would say, so it has more coverage, and the Naked Skin is more like a tinted moisturizer. Of course, Born This Way, which is my favorite one because it has the hyaluronic acid in it. Tarte the BB tinted treatment, which would be like more like a cream. Then the Este Lauder Double Wear. Double Wear's been around for many years. That's your full out coverage, full coverage. Also the IT CC cream, SPF 50. That's the last one, and that actually won Best Award for Allure 2018. Those are the 10 best foundations that people usually come out and they ask you about. I've broken up different foundations for dry skin and different foundations for oily skin. Some are drugstore and some are high-end. So I thought I would give you a list of both of those. I'm also going to list them below so you can go back and refer to them, so that you understand which ones are high-end, which one's drugstore, which one you can purchase either from Ulta, Sephora, or the mall. So we'll start firstly with dry skin. Your drugstore brands are going to be your Infallible, L'Oreal, or your True Match. Now, if you lean towards more the lighter skin, True Match is going to be a good option for you because they have a lot more shades in the very, very light. Colorstay 24 Hour, of course, Revlon. That's been around for a long time. That's kind of like your dupe, your comparison to your Double Wear. LA Girl Pro coverage is going to have more of a creamy texture and it's going to dry quicker. I feel like there's a little bit of maybe of alcohol in there, so it's not as moisturizing as those others. Then your high end is going to be your Huda Beauty. I haven't tried Huda Beauty. That is one that's going to be on my list to try, of course, from Sephora. Giogio Armani is going to be compared to your Infallible. That's going to be more of a creamy texture. And then your IT Cosmetics and your BB cream. Your CC cream and your BB cream. Any of those two would be amazing if you have redness or discoloration. Cosmetics is amazing cover for those people who have that very red tint to their skin. But I will warn you that it is more of a full coverage, so you're not going to see as much skin. Those kinds of foundations are good to put on with a brush. I don't think you can get away with just putting it on with your fingers. The thing that I like about the IT Cosmetics too is that it does have factor 50, which you don't have to worry about your SPF as well. Be sure that you're using your SPF with your foundations because a lot of foundations only have factor 15. Very important for summer, very important for going out and driving right now. So that's for your dry skin. Now for your oily skin coverage, your high end are going to be your Nars. $48 is going to be what that costs. That's going to be also like more of a full coverage, but an oil absorbing. Your Marc Jacobs, which is $55, and your Makeup Forever, which is $43. So those are your three high end for oily skin. Now for your drugstore, for your oily skin, is going to be your Revelon Colorstay, Fit Me, Poreless Matte. The Fit Me foundation by Maybelline is amazing for oily skin. I have seen more and more time again how much that oil gets absorbed within that foundation and is a great option for that. And that's only $6.99, and your Revlon Colorstay is only $10. So those are very good comparisons and very good choices for that oily skin. Remember, if you have an oily skin too, you need to be setting it with powder. The powder with the talc definitely helps absorb that oil. So make sure that you're doing that and you're also using a primer. We haven't really spoken about primers, but as an aging skin like mine, I will not leave the house without a primer. I know a lot of times we don't want to do as many steps, but a primer does help your skin hold your foundation, look smoother, and definitely give you the long wearing and the smoothness to your skin. I will just go over very basically the powders. Make sure that you are setting your foundation with a powder. That does make a huge difference as well to your look. If you get a powder that has a compact, throw that away and don't use it if your skin is dry. Use your big brush, tap it off, and then what you are going to do is you're going to press it in. Make sure that your foundation is dry and everything is dry before you put on your powder. You do not want to put your powder on while your foundation is still wet. In each compact, of course, you get your little pad. Like I say, that's not advisable because then you will see all the pores and all the lines with your powder. Some powders that I like, the number 7 powder is amazing. Laura Mercier, the loose powder is amazing. There are some really good powders out there. I will probably do a video on powders because I think that's a whole separate video and there's a lot to talk about there, but do not leave out the last step with the powder because it does make a huge difference. One more thing about the foundation that I just want to let you know as well. As we age, our skin tone becomes more gray and the tone seems to be not as rosy. So we want to darken up our foundation just a little bit. When you darken up with your foundation, it does give you more color to your skin, also gives you more of a glow, makes your skin, when you take pictures, especially if you're noticing that in the pictures your skin is very white and you're feeling really washed out, go up a shade or 2. Do not go up 3 or 4 shades, and do not use your foundation to give you color. You want to get your color from your bronzer, your blush, and other things that you add. But if you do go up slightly, that will make you not be as washed out because of the texture of your skin. I have noticed, I'll be 49 this year, almost 50. Definitely I've had to go up 2 shades in my color because of that. And I've noticed a huge difference in the way my skin looks. It looks better, it looks more alive. Also remember, if you have those age spots and you are going for a lighter shade, it's almost going to make those age spots look gray. So make sure that you are going up and giving yourself a little more color. So that's my video for today. I hope that's helped you and I hope you've learned a few tips. And as always, I thank you so much for watching. And if you have any comments, leave below and we'll see you next time. Bye.